Hello viewers, welcome to Big Man Business YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the top import and export commodities of Myanmar. The Republic of the Union of Myanmar, a Southeast Asian country bordered by India, Bangladesh, Thailand, Laos, and China, purchased $18 billion in imported products in 2020. This figure represents a 14.5% growth from 2016 to 2019, but a minus 3.5% decrease from 2019 to 2020. The Myanmar kyat has fallen by minus 11.9% against the US dollar since 2016 but has climbed by 9% from 2019 to 2020, according to the average exchange rate. Since 2019, Myanmar's stronger local currency has made things imported into the Southeast Asian nation that was paid for in stronger local currency less expensive for Myanmar's importers. Refined petroleum oils, phones, especially smartphones, motorcycles, and heavy construction machines are among Myanmar's most valuable imported goods. From a continental viewpoint, fellow Asian countries accounted for 90.2% of Myanmar's overall imports in terms of the total cost. Myanmar imported 5.4% of its commodities from European partners, while 2.5% came from North America. Exporters in Oceania got 1%, led by Australia and New Zealand, Latin America with 0.7%, excluding Mexico but including the Caribbean, and Africa with 0.7% all contributed smaller percentages. Given Myanmar's population of 53.2 million people, the country's total $18 billion in 2020 imports equates to over $340 in annual product demand for each individual living in the Southeast Asian country known as Burma. If you're new to the Big Man Business YouTube channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell to receive updates on new business expert videos. For more international business news and updates, please visit www.bigmanbusiness.com. Myanmar's top imports. The following product groups account for the majority of Myanmar's import purchases in 2020. The percentage contribution of each product category in terms of total imports into Myanmar is also indicated. $2.7 billion in mineral fuels, including oil, accounts for 15.3% of total imports. $2 billion in electrical apparatus and equipment accounts for 10.9%. $1.8 billion in machinery, including computers, accounts for 9.8%. $1.2 billion in vehicles account for 6.6%. $1.1 billion in iron and steel account for 6.3%. $771.5 million in plastics and plastic goods account for 4.3%. $746.4 million in synthetic staple fibers account for 4.2%. $707.8 million in animal/vegetable fats, oils, and waxes accounts for 3.9%. $647.5 million in iron and steel articles account for 3.6%. $592.5 million in pharmaceuticals accounts for 3.3%. Myanmar's top 10 imports accounted for more than two-thirds of the total value of its goods purchases from other nations with 68.1%. Electrical machinery and equipment, which grew at the quickest rate among Myanmar's top 10 import categories, increased by 56.6% from 2019 to 2020. Articles composed of iron or steel came in second for increasing import purchases, with a 34% increase. Imports of animal or vegetable fats, oils, and waxes from Burma grew at the third fastest rate, increasing by 32%. Mineral fuels, including oil, imported from outside Burma, are the slowest among the top 10 Burmese imports, with a year-on-year decrease of minus 26.2%. Myanmar's top exports. In 2020, the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, a sovereign state in Southeast Asia, transported $16.9 billion worth of commodities throughout the world. This figure indicates a 45% increase from 2016, but a minus 6.5% drop from 2019 to 2020. Myanmar is often known as Burma. The Myanmar kyat has fallen by -11.9% against the US dollar since 2016, but has climbed by 9% from 2019 to 2020, according to the average exchange rate. Myanmar's stronger local currency has rendered exports paid for in weaker US dollars more expensive for overseas purchasers in the past year. Petroleum gases, unknitted and non-crocheted men's suits or pants, dried shelled vegetables, unknitted and non-crocheted women's apparel, and refined copper are the top 5 value-added exports from Myanmar. Myanmar's 5 most valuable exports together accounted for 45.8% of the country's total exports. According to the most recent available data, importers in China accounted for 31.8% of the global total, Thailand with 17.8%, Japan with 7.3%, the United States with 5.1%, Singapore with 4.1%, India with 4.1%, Germany with 3.5%, Spain with 3.1%, the United Kingdom with 2.9%, South Korea with 2.6%, the Netherlands also with 2.6%, and Belgium purchased 86.2% of Myanmar's exports. In terms of value, 74.3% of Myanmar's exports were supplied to other Asian countries, while 18.7% were sold to European buyers. Myanmar exported 5.7% of its total exports to North America. Africa got 0.8%, Oceania had 0.22%, and Latin America without Mexico but includes the Caribbean received smaller percentages. Myanmar's population was estimated to be 53.2 million in 2020, with an average of $320 in exported goods per person. $3.4 billion in mineral fuels, including oil, accounts for 20.2% of total exports. $3.4 billion in clothing and accessories not knit or crocheted accounts for 20.2%. $1.25 billion in vegetables account for 7.4%. $1.16 billion in cereals account for 6.9%. $1.16 billion in knitted or crocheted clothes and accessories account for 6.9%. $927.6 million in copper accounts for 5.5%. $826.2 million in fish accounts for 4.9%. $628.8 million in machinery, including computers, accounts for 3.7%. $624.5 million in fruits and nuts account for 3.7%. $547.1 million in oilseeds account for 3.2%. Myanmar's top 10 exports accounted for 82.6% of the total value of its global shipments in terms of value. Among the top 10 export categories, machinery, including computers, grew at the quickest rate, increasing by 262.8% from 2019 to 2020. Oilseeds came in second with a 36.7% increase in export sales. Myanmar's vegetable shipments saw the third fastest increase in value, at 28.3%. Mineral fuels, including oil, were the top decliner among Myanmar's top 10 export categories, with a -23.3% reduction year-over-year. Myanmar's total exported goods account for 6.5% of the country's overall gross domestic product, which is $258.7 billion in purchasing power parity US dollars in 2020. Although based on a short timescale, the 6.5% for exports to overall GDP in PPP for 2020 compared to 5.3% for 2019 appears to show a substantially increasing reliance on products sold on international markets for Myanmar's whole economic performance. The unemployment rate is another important measure of a country's economic performance. According to Trading Economics, Myanmar's average jobless rate will be 2% in 2020, up from 0.5% in 2019. Nay Pai Ta is Myanmar's capital. Thanks for watching this video. We are open to suggestions. Kindly drop your comments in the comment box and don't forget to subscribe to the Big Man Business YouTube channel. See you in the next video.